Hello and welcome to Finding Missing Angles. In this lesson, we're going to look at how to find angles when we know two sides but no angles. And here's the thing. The calculator, with trigonometry, the calculator can ask the question, what angle has a sine of 0.5? So let's say we know the two sides, and we know that when we set up the sides, it has a sine of 0.5, that we know that that is half as tall as it could possibly be, that opposite side is half as tall as it could possibly be, or half as tall as the hypotenuse. We would like to know the angle to that. And the great thing is that the calculator has a way to ask that question and to answer that question. What you'll see on the calculator is this. It says, it looks like sine to the -1 power, but really this is not a negative exponent. This just means the inverse sine of 0.5. And if you see this, this means what angle has a sine of 0.5. It's called the inverse sine. This exponent is not the usual reciprocal. Normally with a negative exponent we got to flip it, put it on the bottom, but not with sine, cosine, tangent. When you see this -1, it just means the inverse. So instead of saying what side lengths would work to have an angle like this, it's asking what is the angle that has a sine of such and such a number. And we can find that on your calculator right here. We turn it on. Remember, we always want to check the mode and make sure that it is in degree mode. Oh, good thing I did. Mine's not. There it is. Woohoo. That would have messed me all up. Now, let's say I want to find what angle has a sine of 0.5. You see, here's the sine button. I'm going to hit second and then sine. And right up above it is this inverse sine. Second sine. There's the inverse sine. So if I enter in 0.5, that is asking the question, what is the angle degree that would have the opposite side be half as long as the hypotenuse? Ah, 30 degrees. And we already knew that 30, 60, 90 triangles, the opposite is half as big as the hypotenuse. What angle has a cosine of 0.669? So again, we can do the same thing. Here's cosine. Right up above it is inverse cosine. So if I go second cosine, that's my inverse, 0.669, and enter, 48.01. And the last one is what angle has a tangent. Let's see, tangent, inverse tangent of 0.363, and that is 19.9 degrees. So probably about 20 degrees is the angle that has a tangent of this, because we're always a little bit dealing with rounding. Okay? So here's some steps for you when this happens. Go ahead and pause the video, copy down some steps. Oh, we didn't put our answers on here. I think this was 48 degrees, and this was 19.9 degrees, something like that. And the first one was 30 degrees. Go ahead and copy down the steps, pause your video, and copy down the examples too. Pause the video now. Okay, and restart. Now we're ready to talk through these a little bit. Okay, so in this problem, I label the sides. Here's my angle of reference. So this is the opposite. This is the hypotenuse. And all I'm going to do here now is think what trig function uses those two sides. Opposite and hypotenuse, that is sine. So I'll write my equation. Sine of x, I don't know that angle, is equal to 12 over 15. Okay, so now what I need to do is get my calculator. I'll just do it here. Then I'm going to punch up 12 divided by 15. Actually, I'll do it up here so everybody can see. Whoop. Okay. 12 divided by 15. That's 0.8. Okay, so I'm asking what angle has a sine of 0.8? And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the inverse sine of both sides. Because the inverse sine cancels with the sine and just leaves x. And here I'll have the inverse sine of 0.8. So what angle has a sine of 0.8? Second sine, 0.8. 53 degrees. So x equals, x equals 53 degrees. So I know that is the angle in here, 53 degrees. Okay? Problem number 2. Here's my angle of reference. Here's my opposite. Here is my adjacent. Opposite over adjacent is tangent. So tangent of y is equal to opposite over adjacent. So I'm going to punch this up as a decimal here. 6 divided by 9. That is 0.666. So what I really would like to know, I'd like to get rid of the tangent. I know the tangent of y is 0.66, but I need just y. So we'll do inverse tangent, inverse tangent. So y equals inverse tangent of 0.666. So I'll go on my calculator. Inverse tangent of 0.666. 33.66. Y equals. So that is my angle measure here, 33 point. Usually we can round that to one decimal place like that, the tenths. Okay? And this one over here, go ahead and pause the video and try this one, see if you can get it right. And then you can hit play and I'll explain. Pause. And go. Okay, here is my angle of reference. So this is the adjacent and this is the hypotenuse. So that's going to be cosine. Cosine of x equals adjacent over hypotenuse. Calculator help. 26 divided by 38. 68. So I know the cosine of x, 0.684. Now I need to take the inverse cosine of both sides, which will cancel with the cosine and just leave x equals inverse cosine of 0.684. Which asks the question, what angle has a cosine of 0.684? Calculator, can you tell me that? Inverse cosine, 0.684. Enter. 46.8. Thank you very much. So this is how we can find the missing angle if we know two sides. By using inverse sine, inverse cosine, inverse tangent. Have a great day.